Okay, medicinal chemistry, we have to consider first drug. What is drug? The drug is most commonly a small organic molecule that should be used to activate or inhibit the function of a biomolecule such as a protein, which in turn result in a therapeutic benefit to the patient. So drug is nothing but this is a commonly used small organic molecules, okay, that should be used to activate or inhibit the function of a biomolecule such as a protein, which in turn result in a therapeutic benefit to the patient. Okay. Now the word drug have been derived D-R-O-G-U-E. Drug means, which means a dry herb. Dry herb, H-E-R-B, okay. This is E. H-E-R-B means the plants, their barks, their roots are their dry herbs that should be used for medicinal purposes. From this term, from this dry herb term, drug is derived, and from drug we get the word drug. Okay. A drug is defined as an agent which is used in the diagnostic treatment, cure or prevention of a disease in human bodies or in other animal bodies. So drug is nothing but that is used as agent which is used in the diagnostic treatment for curity. Curity means already the patient having some disease, and for relieving the disease, for curing the disease, drugs are used. And prevention means for protection against the disease in the patient body, we have to use some drug. Or in other animal bodies also drug are used. According to WHO means World Health Organization, a drug is any substance or product that is used or intended to be used to modify or explore a physiological system or pathological state for the benefit of the recipient. Drug is nothing but drug is a substance or product that should be used to or intended to be used for modification or for exploration of physiological system or pathological state for the benefit of the recipient. Okay. Recipient means who taking this drug. Next one, drug design. Drug design involves the design of molecules that are complementary in shape and charge to the biomolecular target with which thing interact and therefore bind to it. Means drug design means that is nothing but this is a design of molecules that are complementary in shape and charge to the biomolecular target because of better interaction, because of binding with the site. Okay. Now we have to consider drug design frequently but not necessarily relies on computer modeling techniques. For drug design, for better purposes, for better study, for better marketing, for better production of medicine, sometimes computer design are needed but not necessarily always computer modeling techniques are needed. So there is not always computer modeling techniques are not needed. Okay. And this type of computer modeling systems are referred as computer aided drug design. Okay. Now we have to consider the three-dimensional structure of the biomolecular target is known as structure-based drug design because three-dimensional structure are very much important in that case. Next one, we have to know drug target. Drug target means a biomolecular target that should be most commonly a protein or nucleic acid that should be the key molecule involved in a particular metabolic or signaling pathway. So if any biomolecular targets are given, that is like for example protein or nucleic acid, this is the key molecule that should be involved in a particular metabolic and signaling pathway. So now we have to consider what is metabolic pathway and what is signaling pathway. So when we are taking any type of drug as a medicine or as an injection, most of the cases medicine, they must be get in our body and produce some metabolism. By this way they cure all over the things. So this pathway is termed as metabolic pathway when they produce metabolism. And sometimes by injection or by other type of vaccines or other types of things are there, so that should be produce instant signaling in our brain, and by this way the all over the things is cured. So that should be termed as signaling pathway. Okay. There are basically two types of pathway, can be metabolic pathway and signaling pathway. Now we have to know small molecule. For example, receptor agonist, antagonist, inverse agonist or modulators, enzyme activators or inhibitors, ion channel openers or blockers are will be designated that are complementary to the binding site. So all are small molecule and all are should be designed such that they complement to the binding site. Okay, so there must be receptor can be used, agonist can be used, antagonist is used. So we have to learn this all over terms later. Okay. Now, characteristic of ideal drug. Ideal drug means the drug which is should be ideal. Now we have to consider, when we consider gases, we have to know ideal gases and real gases. For ideal gases, we know PV equal to nRT for n mole of gases. But in real gas, we have to derive P plus N square A by V, V minus NB equal to nRT, like N square A by V square. Okay. So this is termed as Van der Waals equation. Okay. So most of the cases gases are not exist as real ideal sense, or they are most of the cases they are exist as real gases. For at a particular temperature and pressure they behave as ideal, but actually they are exist as real gases. So similar concept can be there. That is, ideality is maintained is very rarely. Suppose if we consider this person is an ideal person, so when they produce their ideality feature in the all over the world, so they have to produce many sacrifices. Okay, they have good humanity, they have good skill, they have good behavior, so all over things they should be achieved. By this way they get this ideal feature characteristics from the other people. Okay, so they have to do lots of sacrifices, otherwise any people do not get this ideal features or ideal ideality in the real world. Okay, so similar things. So if drugs fulfill this type of characteristics, so they are termed as ideal drug, almost approximate to ideal drug. Okay, because there should be lots of variation or little amount of variation can be there for can be vary from drug to drug. Okay, all drug, any drug fulfill all the criteria is very rare. Now we consider characteristic of ideal drug. First one, it should modify the metabolic process of body cells or enzymal function. So this should be described, that is the drug which we take it should be does not affect or does not make slow the metabolic process or enzyme function. It should be rather modify the metabolic process of body cells or enzymal function. Second one, it should react chemically. So when we take the drug for a purpose, it should be react chemically. For example, antacids that should be used to reduce excess gastric acidity. When we suffer by gastric acidity, we take antacid, and these antacids are enough to cure the excess gastric acidity. This is the example that the drugs react chemically. Okay, it should produce desired effect. Suppose at a particular disease having at a particular organ having the disease, so when we take the medicine, this medicine should be act on this particular site. Due to this we take the drug. As for example, if we having the headache problem, so we have to take the medicine to cure the headache, not affect the other criteria, other organ. Okay, we have to need the medicine to relieve the pain of headache, not other organs are not affected. Okay, this is termed as desired effect. It should be easily available. The drugs will be easily available, then their study, their modification is easier, so their ability is easier, so their marketing is easier, so people can get at low cost. There should be probability of low costing phenomena is there. Okay, it should be non-toxic. Non-toxic, if they are toxic, so for one beneficial we get the medicine, but this medicine is used, this medicine produce other side effect, so we do not get fruitful by taking that drug. Okay, suppose for headache we need the medicine, but this medicine create teeth pain. Okay, So this is not a good drug. Okay. It should not injure or damage the physiological process. Other physiological processes are not should be damaged or injured, and it should be easily produced at low cost. And it should be manufactured by approval of government as per the specification. Government approval should be important. Okay. So this is the characteristic of ideal drug, that it is modify the metabolic process of body cell or enzyme function. It should react chemically. It should produce desired effect. It should be easily available. It should be non-toxic. It should injure or damage the physiological process. It should be easily produced at low cost. Consumption of drug can be via inhalation, injection, absorption via patch on the skin, or dissolution under the tongue. So there must be so many terms of consumption of drug. That is inhalation by taking the nose. We know that is for many of the cases we taking the inhale. That is called inhalation. Injection for, as for example, injection of various type, antivenom, in vein, in muscles. Okay, so many terms are there. So injection, there should be, when dog bite injection, if any people are, there should be dog bite conditions are there, so there should be injection are put it. Suppose any people there should be cut by the iron or glass materials, so there should be injection can be provided. Okay, in vaccines injection are there. Okay, so injection are lots of examples are there. Absorption via patch on the skin, like for example ointment. Okay, dissolution under the tongue, in many medicine can be used in dissolution under the tongue. Okay, now we consider what is medicine. Medicine is very vital. Not all drugs are all drugs are not considered as medicine, but all medicines are actually drug. Okay, all drugs are not considered as medicine, but all medicine are actually drug. Now we have to consider what is medicine. Medicine, a pharmaceutical drug used to treat, cure, or prevent or diagnose a disease or promote to well-being. Okay, so medicine is nothing but that is a pharmaceutical drug that should be used for treatment, for using for curing, for using for preventing the disease, and for diagnosis a particular disease and to promote well-being. Medicine, this pharmaceutical drug is termed as medicine. Now sources, traditional drugs are obtained through, that is not attraction, this is the extraction. Okay, extraction from medicinal, C-null-I-N. Okay, medicinal plants. So many medicinal plants means the plants having medicinal value, means the plants, their bark, their roots or their other parts will be used definitely in the medicinal purposes. Okay, so they are termed as medicinal plants, and traditional drugs are obtained through extraction from medicinal plants. Like for example, caffeine contained in coffee, which is also found in plants, and it is most widely used psychoactive drug in the world. Okay. Next one, difference between the drug and medicine. There should be definition: drugs, substances which act on the body and are used for the prevention, diagnosis and treatment. Okay. Okay, that should be used for prevention, diagnosis and treatment. Medicine, that should be substances that have definite form. So there should be definite form, is very important. And therapeutic treatment. So drug may have some harmful effect, side effect or addiction properties, but medicine does not have all of this. So that's why termed as therapeutic treatment. Now we have to consider amount. Drug amount are not fixed, medicine definite amount. Because when we consider medicine is nothing but that is administered for drug, and this drug will be taken in our body at a definite amount. That's why this having little amount or negligible amount of harmful effect. That's why termed as amount is definite. But drug, when we consider this taking things is drug, so there is not fixed amount, means they having addiction property, they having the side effect property. That's why they are considered as drug, not considered as medicine. Okay. Now the potency, drug is active potent, medicine administrative form of drug. Okay. Now compare, all drugs are not medicine, but all medicine are definitely drug. And there should be example drug, paracetamol, ranitidine, medicine, napa, nicotine are. Okay. So paracetamol, if generalized, we can say this is in many books as a considered as drug. But in India or any, there are a fixed amount of mg, 600 mg, suppose this is used as medicine. Okay. So now we consider the summary. What we get, that is medicinal chemistry. The drug is nothing but commonly as small organic molecule that should be used for activate or inhibit the function of a biomolecule such as a protein, because in our body most of the biomolecule are protein. Okay, which in turn result in a therapeutic benefit to the patient. The word drug that has been derived drogue, D-R-O-G-U-E, that should be, which means dry herb. Okay, dry herb means dry plants which having the medicinal value. Now we consider drug is defined as an agent which is used in a diagnostic treatment and for cure or prevention of disease in human body and as well as animal bodies. So there should be the difference between curative and prevention is there. The curative means the patient already having the disease, and for relief of this disease, so drug is introduced. Okay, and prevention means the patients are not engaging in this disease, but for protection we have to use drug are termed as prevention. Okay, for vaccine is termed as prevention, because in further in our life, if we taking the vaccine, we do not survive this disease, and if this disease come in our body, we will having the little harmful effect when we engaging the disease. Okay, and curing means we are having the disease, but for relieving the disease we have to need some treatment are termed as curing. Okay. Now according to who, a drug is a substance or product that is used or intended to be used to modify or explore physiological system or pathological state for the benefit of the recipient. Okay. Now we consider drug design. Drug design involves the design of molecules that are complementary in shape and charge to the biomolecule because of what? Because of better interaction, because of better binding. Okay. Now drug design frequently used but not necessarily relies always computer modeling techniques, and this type of modeling is termed as computer aided drug design. If we consider three-dimensional structure of the biomolecular target, there should be known as structure-based drug design, because structure is very important in that sense. Next one, drug target, that is a biomolecular target. Most commonly are protein or nucleic acid. This is the key molecule that should be involved in a particular metabolic as well as signaling pathway. We can say what is metabolic pathway, what is signaling pathway. When it produces some metabolism, and by this way they produce curing and preventing property, that should be termed as metabolic pathway. And when it produces some signal in our whole of the body, that should be termed as signaling pathway. Small molecules, for example, receptor agonist, antagonist, inverse agonist, or modulators, enzyme activators, or inhibitor, or ion channel openers, or blockers, that should be designated that are complementary to the binding site. Characteristic of ideal drug, that should be modify the metabolic process, body cells or enzyme malfunction. It should react chemically. It should produce desired effect. It should be easily available. It should be non-toxic. It should be not injure or damage the physiological process. It should be easily produced at low cost. And also it should be manufactured by approval of the government as per the modification. So they are termed as ideal drug, means good drug or excellent drug. Okay. Consumption of drug can be there in various methods, by using inhalation, by using injection, by using absorption via patch on the skin, by using dissolution under the tongue. Okay. Now we have to consider medicine. What is medicine? Medicine is nothing but medicine is a pharmaceutical drug that should be used for treatment, that should be used for curing, that should be used for preventing or diagnosing a disease or to promote the well-being of the human bodies or in other animal body also. Now sources means from where the drugs are found. So traditional drugs are obtained through the extraction of medicinal plants. Medicinal plants means the plants which having the medicinal values. In ancient time there should be no development of the other drugs are there. So the plants parts are used for medicinal purposes. Okay. Now example, caffeine content in coffee, which is also found in plants, and it is also most widely used psychoactive drug in the world. Now next one, difference between drug and medicine points are definition: drug substance which act on the body and are used for the prevention, diagnosis and treatment, and medicine substances that have definite form and therapeutic treatment, and amount, drug amount is not fixed, medicine having definite. So amount, there should be the confusion around the amount point. That is how we can derive, that is drug is needed, amount is not fixed, and medicine definite, because when we consider the sense, that is medicine is nothing but the drug, so we have to take drug in the form a definite amount, that should be considered as medicine. Okay, and when the drug is used not a fixed amount, are termed as drug. Okay, by this way we can say this. And potency, drug active potent, medicine administrative form of drug. And then compare all drugs are not medicine, as I say, and all medicine are drug. Examples: drug paracetamol and medicine Napa, nicotine are. Paracetamol are considered as drug as generalized. Okay, but paracetamol, the some amount of dose are used as medicine for modification. Now we can say that is paracetamol, there some amount of mg, 600 mg, like I guess 600 mg, this should be used as medicine for fever, for painkiller, for other purposes. Okay.